What's up, guys? If we haven't met before, I'm Dallas.
And I'm Amy.
And we are on a 6-month road trip. We started on February 1st from Southern California, and we're making our way all the way to, well, originally to the Florida Keys, and then up to Atlanta, and then over to Nashville, and we've been staying in Airbnbs along the way.
It's been really fun. Up until recently, we actually left before the coronavirus was really a big thing in the news. We had heard about it, but it was still in China and not a big deal at the time, so we went ahead and left.
Yeah, I mean, when we left, it was happening, but it was like in the February 1st. It was very early stages. Nothing really was hitting America yet. There wasn't any sort of worry about what was going on or anything, so we didn't even think twice. I mean, it wasn't even on our radar when we quit our jobs and loaded up a minivan with our 2 dogs. You'll probably hear them walking around. But we didn't even think about it because it wasn't even a thought in anyone's mind that this was going to happen and this was going to get nearly as big as it has.
It's gotten really bad, but the good news is that we're healthy and we're safe. The dogs are healthy and safe. We've got enough food for them and I think enough food for us.
Yeah, we've been doing okay. So, I mean, the first about 2 months we spent in first Phoenix, Arizona, then we went to Albuquerque, New Mexico. Still, like, nothing was being really talked about at this point. Then we headed to Austin, Texas, where we spent an entire month. So the first week or so, there wasn't that much going on, and then towards kind of the middle of that month, they started to have some restrictions. Now, these restrictions weren't like closing down restaurants and bars yet, anything like that. There was no social distancing. We had never heard that term at that point. By the very end of it, our trip is when everything started really kind of like ramping up. And then we got to New Orleans right after that, where we are right now in our Airbnb. And everything just basically started getting shut down. And that's when everybody kind of panicked.
We were able to do a few things in New Orleans before everybody decided to isolate, but we decided isolating was the best thing to do. It's not mandated, but everything's pretty much shut down anyway, so there's really no point in going anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, in our first day, we got to walk around Bourbon Street just during the day. We didn't go out at night, and that was the day that they first started limiting the amount of people that could go to bars and restaurants. Was that day. The night before, I believe, is when they rolled through, or maybe that night they rolled through Bourbon Street with police cars and said everybody needs to disperse and stuff, but they were still allowing people to go out. We just immediately chose not to do that, and tried to distance ourselves just kind of, out of common sense basically of what was going on. And this last week we've been here, it's progressively gotten tighter and tighter. Now at this point, you cannot eat in restaurants, you cannot go to bars, everything is takeout, that kind of thing, and everything is fully on lockdown. So, it is what it is, but we've been having a good time here hanging out with the dogs. The dogs love it, lots of time with them. And so, but first off, like she was saying, we're fully healthy. We feel fine. My voice is a little raspy because we were singing karaoke on our own here. But yeah, we feel totally fine, and the dogs are fine. But now it's what do we do next?
So we basically had 2 choices. We could go home to California. But California right now is kind of exploding with cases of coronavirus. I think there's over 1,000 as of now.
I don't know. There's tons and tons of cases. They're also having the full stay in your homes, declaration or whatever happening now. So those restrictions are very tight, and you need to stay in your homes, which we agree with. Totally understand that. Our home, though, we do live with some people that are a little bit older. And so we don't want to compromise their health at all, and we don't want them to compromise ours, obviously. It is a smaller place, and we don't, it's just a lot for that much. We'd have 3 dogs in the house, 4 people. It's just a lot.
And it's supposed to be for only 2 weeks, but I think we all know that's probably going to get extended, so we just didn't want to get stuck in a small house and get anybody else sick.
So that leads us to where we were supposed to go next, which is St. Petersburg, Florida. Now, St. Pete's is like a peninsula, right? It's very close to Tampa. And our place there looked great as a spot for us to have as a base. But we're in a suburban environment where, lots of homes, and there's a good amount of people there. It's a more densely populated area. They've closed all the beaches in that area. They've closed all the bars and restaurants, so museums, everything like that. So there's nothing really to do there. We'd be quarantined.
Yeah, we decided, if we were to go to St. Pete's, we would still stay in the house, both for our own safety, everyone else's safety, and because there's just nothing to do.
So there's a pretty large population of elderly people, obviously, as we know in Florida. It's a great place to retire, maybe someday, hey? But we don't want to compromise, them either by traveling there, just in case we are like asymptomatic carriers or anything, even though we've been very cautious about everywhere we've gone and all that kind of stuff. But so that led us to like, what do? Do we go to St. Pete's and just quarantine ourselves there? We started looking at like every state. We're like, well, maybe we find like a cabin in the woods. I don't know. Like, what do we do? And we decided that like, first off, we were thinking if we do go to St. Pete's, maybe we'll buy a kayak because if we get out on the water, it's something to go do. And
we're not by anybody else. We can fish off the kayak and get some exercise.
Yeah, rowing it up and stuff, But we're always also nervous. Are they going to close the boat ramps and the launches? So far they haven't. I don't think they will. But, then I'd have to be schlepping it from the place into the van all the way down every time. And so that started to look like a lot of work I didn't want to do, to be honest. Even the fishing piers are closed, a lot of them. So there's like nothing to do, which we get. But at the same point, like if we're going to be quarantined, what's our best situation? So this one found a awesome spot for us in a totally different county. It's north of St. Petersburg, and it's in a very small community with only a few hundred people, like permanent residents. Houses are more spread out, so it's not densely populated, but we're still somewhat close. We're like a 15-minute drive to like supermarkets and stuff like that, so we can still get food. But some of the best parts of this place is it has its own dock in the backyard. We're on a canal.
It's going to be really cool. We're really excited because we can actually sit outside and hang out there, fish off the dock, and probably throw those kayaks in the water if it's still allowed by the time we get there.
Yeah, we don't foresee that being an issue because we're not going to be around anyone. We don't have to go to a public launch. We don't have to do anything like that. We can walk out the back door, throw the stand-up paddleboard in the water, and go get some exercise, get some sunshine, fish a little bit, I'm become a fisherman now, I guess. I mean, whatever, man. Quarantine life.
It's not what we pictured for Florida, but given the situation, we just want to be able to self-isolate without driving ourselves and each other crazy. So we think this is going to be a great solution of being able to hang out for a month and try to figure out what to do next once that month is up.
Yeah, we're going to kind of just take it, day by day, week by week. And figure it out from there, but this seemed like the best solution for us, for our family members, for the surrounding people around us, all that kind of stuff, and for our dogs, obviously, as well. So what's cool, though, is at least we're going to be able to make some more videos for you guys. You're going to get to see a lot of fishing. And, yeah.
Different style of videos, but the good thing is that the dogs don't know about the virus, so they're perfectly happy.
Yeah, they're loving it all this time with us. But we wanted to give everybody, our family, our friends, and all of our followers, which we love you guys, a kind of update on what we're doing and why we're doing it, how we're protecting ourselves, and how we're protecting the communities that we're in, because we're trying to be very respectful of the fact that we are traveling across the country right now.
Our timing, as usual, is impeccable.
So perfect.
But we're trying to make the best of the trip and stay safe and keep other people safe as much as possible.
And if you're looking for something to do, we have lots of videos you guys could be watching. I definitely recommend our Thailand videos, like the elephant sanctuary video is really great. It's one of my favorites I've ever made. I'm really proud of that one, so check that one out. There's cool like Emerald Cave videos. There's just so many cool things that we've made that you guys could check out because I know you're looking for something to watch.
You may not be able to travel right now, but you can travel virtually. So we do a lot of tropical destinations, as you may have caught on to. And we've got Belize videos, Thailand videos, and those are all really fun and definitely worth watching.
So if you have any questions or comments, as usual, feel free to leave them down below, and we'll do our very best to answer them. Thanks so much for following along with our journey, even if it has taken a couple quick turns, and we'll see you guys next time.